Let's go. Let's do this. What's up, guys? How's everybody doing? Just me, Bobby F. Perryhard, the Solution Artist. I'm here with you guys. It's a beautiful, brand new month. I have a limited amount of time before my next appointment today. First appointment of the month. It's a really big deal. Actually, let's let you play with that. How about it? Let's let you play with that. And it's crazy. I'm glad you guys are joining us here. Really powerful spiritual message, and the vibration of a new month means a lot. So to be able to know what you're dealing with and to, okay, let's easy now. That's an expensive keyboard, my son. He's typing in letters to his, okay. There you go. So to know that the energy of a brand new month is a really critical time to really reassess, understand the difference in the tides, the waves, the different levels of energy that are going to affect you. And for me, it's a really big switch. July is a very big number, not number 7. We are going through different, hey, Angelique, good morning. We're going through different vibrations as we go through life. And some of the cogs are bigger. Some of them happen on a daily basis. Some of them happen on a decade basis. We're finishing a decade because I was like, whoa, it's crazy. We're about to hit into the 2020s. Like that's a crazy feeling. So, just to know that there's really big like resets, and then there are small little like moment to moment resets. And even when you see them on the clock, or you see it in a moment, or even you see it at the reset of a month. So let's talk about a few things that are going to happen, especially in a month like July. This is a very quiet month. Okay, like people get super lazy in July. If you're in this part of the world anyway, I'm not sure what it's like in the other side of the planet, but in North America, these lazy summer days and everybody wants to hit the beach and, kids are off school and all of that stuff. It's very much like, the time to like sit back and relax and basically just enjoy a beer by the lake, right? Like those are thoughts that you have during summer when you're thinking the days are longer, things are stretched out. We look at a 7 and we see a time disassociation. We see this thing that stretches the time and makes time pass by very slowly, or as if we have no concept of it. Interesting, right? July, like especially in North America. How is that in the South? I'm curious how you guys experience that month. What happens usually in July? Do you guys take breaks? Do you guys, just new things happen? So just to know that kind of like plays a factor for me, I'm like, oh, interesting. But when we're looking at this, and I'm looking at the numerological equivalent of this, there's a quietness to this month. There's a very strong pause to this month. So entrepreneurs out there are like, uh-oh, what does that mean? I would like to think it means that the power of your questions are going to be more valuable than the power of what you have to say. And same thing happens in my business. I guess in my business, I have a slightly different take on it. I like to think that I peer beyond the curtain and, look at what is going to happen next and what message is divined for us and all that good stuff. So I'm translating. I was thinking about this in the shower. It's kind of like poetry hieroglyphics. I'm looking at the numerology and I'm putting a metaphor and an analogy on it to make it easy for human beings to we understand the waves and the frequency shifts. And we have to use human terms. Those are things that we're used to saying. Oh, you're putting that in your mouth too? Of course. No, we're not going to eat that. We're just not going to do that. And so we want to pay attention to what the next move is going to be, especially when you want to build your business. If you want to build your life, how far are you from your yearly goal? How far are you from your monthly goal? So to know what the new set is going to look like, it's like you finish, me and my buddy work out, okay? So we finish at one machine, and then we move to another machine and work out a different muscle. Then we move to another machine and we work out a different muscle. So you're moving through a different machine right now, and the new machine is July. So a couple of really powerful differences between June and July. June was a month for emotion, connection, family. In our household, it's birthday month. It starts with Sally's birthday, ends with my birthday. It was a great month. Connection, being there for my kids, and the kids were feeling good this month because we're having a lot of this familial energy, okay, like building community, that kind of thing. The 7, on the other hand, is about spiritual reflection. So to go inward. And I turned on my Facebook, I had someone posting about a lost loved one, and they're already naturally traveling into the spiritual, the mystic, the beyond. The feeling of 7 is not the earth, it's all about the energy behind it. And the energy behind it is that divine Holy Spirit kind of thing that breathes through everything. And like, 5 senses can come short of that. So to have this month, imagine the deeper level of conversation. Imagine the quietness, the peaceful, as my kid starts to go off, as the peaceful feeling of like connection to the moment or connection to the person you're with, or that peaceful moment where this little kid's taking a nap and I'm like, oh, a little moment of heaven, and that feeling is to think that there's a connection to divine energy this month. So whatever you're looking at, expect a godlike experience. Expect a spiritual message from your uppers if you get in for that kind of thing, and your spirit guides and oh my gosh. Could even just be lost loved ones. Could even just be your own sense of intuition, your own sense of spiritual maturity is coming now forth and coming through. So play with this energy. Some people are like, oh my God, that is so not me. I'm not anything spiritual or anything. You may just be paused. You may just be like, or frustrated because maybe you got a lot of active energy and the world's showing up with a slowed up energy. Maybe you're capitalizing on it. You're like, I know this. Everyone else is going slow. I'm gonna start my rush. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna move faster. There are some people who turn this right on their head and say, if everyone else is gonna be lazy, I choose not to. And when you know your numbers and you know what numerology is before you, within you, ahead of you, you get more choice. Otherwise, you're just gonna be like, oh, another full moon or another retrograde or another, this or that's gonna happen. And we are tied very closely to the stars, to the planet, to ourselves, to each other. Like this is like a web. So to know what you're dealing with, oh my gosh, it's such a powerful, like, it's almost like reading the itinerary instead of just sitting down being like, what movie are you watching? You can be like, I got my ticket, I got my program, I got here early, I got my phone turned off, I'm ready to enjoy the next round. What will the universe show me? And imagine the 7's kind of like you going into a spiritual theater and sitting down and basically like meditating through the vision. So in case any of you guys are really keen on this, and you're like, Bobby, so what do I do? How do I figure this out? I would say one of the biggest things you have to do, little avocado on my face, is that what you have? One of the really big things that you should do is, oh man, he's so distracting. He's just so gorgeous, my little tiny sweet son. Daddy, love you. Is to listen. Like look and imagine like a bug, right, has got all these like eyes and they can see like everything at the same time. Imagine that your soul is the same way, and you can look at the honeycomb of possibility and think at any given moment you can move into this energy, or you can choose the one where you're in poverty, or you can choose the timeline where you're flicking channels. Your energy gets a chance to attract whatever idea it wants to come across. So when everything gets quiet and the tone becomes very deep, you get a chance to see further into your vision than you would naturally without a number like this. So in case some people are like, oh man, I really don't get in for this spiritual stuff, I don't have those numbers, you may capitalize on the July and be like, here they are. They still shine on me. I can still see them in the dates. I can still meditate. I can force myself to journal, or I can, I'm disciplined. I can figure that out. But what you think about, you bring about. And this month has an HD free cable, like free HD preview, where you can actually see your vision and see it in clarity. So in case a few of you guys are frustrated, being like, I want to make this money, I want to make it now, I would like to really reiterate that you're in a long game, okay? As an entrepreneur, you're in a long game. Short bursts are amazing over a consistent period of time, like a blitz or an all-out massive action. But if they're in like a defeat or an anxiety, or like I got to catch up, or whatever it is that shows up against that, like I need to do this, that level of anxiety translates into who you are. So that can affect the vision that you have for yourself. So that's why when things can get nice and calm and nice and slow, it's a great time to go into meditation. It's a great time to start thinking, what do I decide? Like, think about that for an affirmation. What do I decide? What do I decide? What do I decide? And you're going to see like, oh, I decided on the white one, I decided on the big house, or I decided on the family vacation, or I decided on working, you know, while I'm babysitting, like, you know, like this little guy's like just trying to like, he's so curious. And at the same time, he's such a spiritual little tiny monkey. I love you so much. And he's just downloading all this stuff while he's looking everywhere. But it's funny how he's nice and quiet. But we're going to let him explore as he's on top of me. But guys, you get a chance to pick. You're choosing. And sometimes we're stuck there looking at, I don't know what to do. That's a really shitty place to look. If you're trying to find your success and you're stuck and like, I don't know what I'm going to do, or I don't know how I'm going to make it, or I don't know where it's going to come from. That's looking in a cup for a whale from the ocean. You'll pick up water from the ocean. Oh, there's no whales in here. There's a difference in understanding that you have no idea what's beyond your peripheral. No idea what the universe is preparing for you. No idea what is being in store for you based on your magnetism. And we have one of the biggest misunderstandings we have is we have no idea how much of a magnet our words, thoughts, and emotions are. And it catches me the best of the time. You know, any normal person is just going to get tired. And so, you know, we're going to have to recognize the law of rest and to be able to recuperate and to, you know, come back to ourselves. But in a month like this, it's best to breathe through it and yoga yourself into it, meditate yourself into it, and really start to ask yourself, what do I decide? Which one of these endless honeycombs of reality am I going to pick for myself, for my life, for my family? Hi. And you know, and not which, like, you know, which one's the most possible or like which one can I do, but like we're not looking about the how. You want to look at what is going to happen. What is going to happen? Not how do I make $1 million, or, you know, who knows what happens if you sign up someone who's got you know, a full-on couple thousand people in their team and they got a shady offer, and next thing you know, you show them this and they're like, oh, the rainbow comes out of their mouth and they're like, this is amazing, everybody quickly jump. And then suddenly you get like 50 to like, you know, like a couple hundred orders, you know, and you're 6A in a day, and you know, like that's happened. So how do you know how big money's going to come into it? You never know. You never know. But if you're not open, if you're not reading, if you're not looking at your own personal development, if you're not sharpening your tool, the opportunity is going to come and you're just going to go thum, and then basically go right through it. Whereas the person who's trained, they know, they speak well, they understand themselves, you know, they really, they've grown into the person they need to be. They get a chance to go and capitalize on a situation like this. Are you going to get caught underneath the tide, stuck in thought and emotion paralysis of, I don't know what I'm going to do, I don't know what I'm going to do, it's just not, and then we just lose it? Or are we going to say, okay, forensics, we have a pause. Time seems to have slowed down. What can we accomplish in hyperdrive during this moment, during this emotion, during this place? I know he's so cute, right? Do you want to say hi? Say hello. Say oh, like father, like son. Like father, like son, like father, like son, like father, like son. It's you, baby. See? Say hi. Say hello. Aww. He likes himself. I like yourself too. I like yourself too. So yes, this is bring your son to work today. But guys, I'm not kidding here. Like this month could be exhausting for some of you. It feels like you're trying to push something that like disintegrates in front of your fingers. Like there's no structure, there's no stability. Everyone's checked out. You know, like you get a chance to really like capitalize on it, or maybe you need a rest. Maybe you need to calm down for a minute. Maybe you need to go into this meditative mode, and instead of scrambling around, maybe you need to get a really strong, clear direction for where you're going to go. If you can go into that direction in your mind, click, and you link onto that honeycomb of an idea, that expression, next thing you know, everything starts to break away, and then that energy circulates back into moving you forward in that direction. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Focus on what you want and not where you are afraid of hitting. That's like basic in skiing and snowboarding. You don't look at the obstacle. And that's one of the really big challenges that the brain remembers. The body remembers. We remember things because we're in a duality existence. So we have to appreciate things in terms of life and death. And so the conversation becomes a lot like, oh, I've been down there. I don't go down there again. Or I felt that before. I don't feel that anymore. Or I'm afraid of that failure, so I don't go down that road. And that fear of wanting to keep us comfortable and safe remembers and records and stains one of those little honeycombs for you. So it's going to always fixate on the worst case possible scenario because your brain is a wonderful brick computer and it's designed to keep you safe. That's the reason why you pull your hand away from a stove, or you stop a kid from running around the street, right? Because there's an adult understanding or special understanding why most animals run away from people, because there's a fight or flight mechanism inside of our bodies. So for us to take it off of autopilot and to take it off of, like, that's, you're being entered into the engineer's room. When you look at numerology, the veil is lifted and you don't have a choice now. You get a chance to either ignore it or recognize that it plays a map out of vibration inside of your life. So for me, I'm like, oh, wow, like this is so super cool to understand this now because the world looks different to me. And then on a day like today where I'm thinking we should be quiet, I'm like, everyone's going to be quiet. They're all going to listen to this message. People who needs to hear it will hear it. That feeling is going to show up because I have to show up. That's what I'm here to do. To show up for you guys and to, be that guy in the movie who's like yelling at on the corner. I just found myself a nice little corner to yell from, and I appreciate you guys all standing next to it and listening to the war cries of the truth, of the spiritual truth, the feeling of us knowing where we need to go in life. Yeah. So for all you Canadians, happy Canada Day. We're gonna have some awesome Canada Day shenanigans. It's gonna be a lot of fun. But go out there and enjoy. Just pause at the moment. And fall in love with whatever you're looking at or whatever you're seeing, whether it be the beauty of nature or just human interaction or just the fact that you can be aware of what's happening. But that's a really strong theme for this month. So try not to get caught in the thorn bush of fear and you'll overdose on it. This month is like whatever you land on, it's like quickly pause and run that the whole month. So be very careful about attaching to things, because you don't want to. If you're going to attach to anything, attach to the discipline of getting stronger. This is between performances. Okay, this is like between big shows. What does the performer do? The athlete, what does it do? Hits the gym, hits the diet, gets it done, right? And for me, it's like next month I'm getting married. So this July is going to be like a nice big swoop up of momentum to get us going where we need to go. So it's really cool. Honestly, guys, I appreciate you guys so much for watching and finding the wisdom in what I'm saying. This month is going to be fun, okay? I hope all of you spiritual people have a really good time connecting. We're dealing with some really big stuff. Like, I don't know if I should tell you this, no big deal, but there's lots of stuff going on in the spiritual world right now, right? So in translation, and put your hand up if you're feeling any of this in your own life, lots of really old stuff is coming up. Lots of really old stuff that has nothing to do with you anymore, but it's something that was stained by the great grandparents, and your DNA and energy is just by chance wearing it. So some of us are going to identify to those messages. Some of us are going to think that's me. Other of us are going to I already went through that. And then some of us go through that spiritual awakening to think, this is not me. I will grow from this. I'm going to use this as my own crux, my own feeling of stepping up, and you get to capitalize on stuff that's not even yours. So it's a really good way of turning it around because the pains, the challenges, the opportunities that are showing up for people are I haven't seen this in a while, right? What the people are saying. I've never experienced this much difficulty or this much challenge or this much whatever and there's going on in their life. It's because it's centuries old, literally. And you're getting a chance now up until sometime in August to move that energy around so that you don't have to be weighed underneath it anymore. The spiritual wrecking crew is here to uncover the rubble of where your spirit's desire has been hiding underneath the things that people teach you, the things that society does for you, and this raising of our consciousness comes with a price. You have to let go of some of the things of us, the sins of our fathers and theirs, and kind of cut the cord and say, look, I'm going to stand in power to the truth, in power to my truth, the light, and what I came here to do, which is to help, and help other people. Help this little guy grow. Oh, it's so cute. Help this little guy grow so that he can be a big boy one day, and you can help people too. 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 Yay! Huh? What you talking about? What you talking about? Yeah! Stephanie's saying here, so true, totally healing our bloodline and stepping into my next expansion and embodiment. Whew! Absolutely. Absolutely. And now's the time. And even funny, Angelique, you're activating right now. You're clearly activating. And it's funny to see that because it's like, hey, look what's showing up. People are out there helping people get through things that have been affecting them for generations. And it's a spiritual mess. And that's why people like numerology or past life regression or, spiritual timeline therapy or whatever it is, hypnotherapy. We're going into the deeper stuff. This is the month to go and venture into that level of energy because the message is strong. So I'm expecting a pretty busy month because a lot of people are like, what's my story? I'm even thinking about it in my mind about the conversations I'm going to have. Like I've already thought about people who are going to be I'm talking to this month who haven't even booked in yet. I'm like, oh, that's right. I have a conversation with so-and-so. And we're going to go deep into their story. And I can feel them thinking, I need clarity into who I am. I need to find out what's going on. Well, the clouds have parted, and this is that point in the story, your story, where you get a chance to actually read inside the books of Akasha. I don't know, what your actual tale and your actual destiny is. Numerology. It actually lets you to move into that vibration. So for me to be here, like sign set up, like lemonade stand on a hot summer day, like this is basically like gonna quench the thirst of your soul, is to go into this type of a message and see what it brings for you. So I hope that you guys have like an amazing, amazing month. It's your biggest month ever. And your spiritual growth, your monetary growth, your love grows, your family grows, and that everybody inside of your world becomes more and more abundant. I speak that onto you guys, and I really wish that for you guys. Absolutely. This month is a very godlike month, and we're here. We're going to make something sincerely powerful happen. Boo. Boo. He gets so funny now. Oh my gosh. He's crawling. He's sitting up on his own. He's starting to stand up on his own too. Do you want to show them? See what? Yeah. Come on. Yeah. See, sometimes you can even just enjoy, watching my son just, Charlie, you bit me. Charlie, that hurts. Ow, it still hurts. Sometimes you just have to be able to enjoy the moments like this. And I hope that you guys fill your moments with them and people like this. You're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. Oh, you're so cute. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Look at that smile. Because this little kid's got plans, right? You have plans to have fun. So what we're going to do today is we're going to go take them all into the sun, get them face paints. It's Canada's birthday, so it's a really awesome holiday out here. For me, I look at this more of a spiritual pulse because it start to get serious. Inside of the numerology of the year, should we go see Mommy now? Inside of the numerology of the year, this is the entry point into the more serious months. All right, game time's on, guys. And right now we're in the gym. All right, we're in that. We're feeling it. We're already dreaming about being on stage, winning medals, and taking, having our speeches and all that stuff. Okay, let's go see Mommy. Say bye. Say bye-bye. Okay, guys, have a great Canada Day. We'll see you guys all very soon. Thanks for watching. Go out there and listen. Just listen to your heart. Listen to yourself. Go into a deep meditation and see. Okay, yeah, see, let's go get mommy. See what you see. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys soon, and take care. Bye. Okay, let's go see mommy. Let's go see mommy.